How do you gut someone? Always trust my gut.
Hello and welcome to Gutted. I'm Aleece.
And I'm Tony, and we're here to spill our guts about horror film trailers. Thank you for watching and for listening to another mini episode of the Gutted Horror Podcast, a pre-gut, if you will. If you're new to the podcast, please subscribe or follow us on YouTube, Instagram, or Spotify. Search for us at Gutted Horror Podcast. Or you can email us at guttedhorrorpodcast@gmail.com.
Today we will be reviewing the trailer for Pearl.
Ooh, okay.
Directed by Ty West and written by Ty West and Mia Goth.
And I didn't know it was written by Mia Goth.
I did not know she co-wrote this either.
If you have not seen X,
Highly
I would
recommend.
watch that before watching this trailer review, because I'm sure we are going to spoil some parts of X. With that said, let's check out that trailer.
I want to be loved from as many people as possible. But truth is, I'm not really a good person.
That was the trailer.
There's a lot going on.
I do have a love-hate relationship with trailers because I feel like they give away more than they need to. But this almost showed so much that you couldn't, and it showed it so quickly, you couldn't possibly remember everything
like
that was
we
happening.
saw maybe a goose getting pitchforked. We saw a bucket full of flesh, someone exploding, someone on fire.
Yeah, I saw some food. Someone had dinner.
I'm sure there was a stabbing in there.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah, someone had dinner.
Yeah. So a lot was happening here.
A lot of stuff going on.
And once again, there will be spoilers for X. So please don't watch this if you have not seen X. And
Spoilers
I
will
highly recommend
start.
that you see X.
Yes.
But yeah, spoilers will start right now.
Now, yeah. Pearl is the old lady in X.
And yes, so Mia Goth plays the old lady. And she also plays Maxine, the one who has X Factor.
Mm-hmm. And we heard that little tidbit.
We heard
in
that
the trailer,
tidbit.
yeah.
Like, oh, you've got to have X Factor. Or you have X Factor. And they show her standing on the X when she's at her audition, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but she's a young girl who lives out in the country.
Rural farm town.
But she wants more out of her life. She
more.
wants to be famous.
Yeah, she's like Belle from Beauty and the Beast, but murderous.
I was going to say, what better way to become famous?
Than murdering everyone you know and ditching town.
Looks like a talent agency's rolling through, and this is her big chance to become famous like the movie stars. But she is tricked into, or maybe coerced, or maybe she wants to do it into possibly filming a porno.
Yeah, because there's that little line where she says, "Is it legal?" And the guy says, "It's gonna be." So, so I almost imagine that we think that, she thinks she's going to be in some big movie like Gone with the Wind, but she's somehow tricked into doing like the first porn or one of the first porns.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I don't know the history of porn, guys, so I don't know when the first porno came out.
It came out probably minutes after the cameras were invented.
Well, fine. What can we do with this?
Before that, it was in the form
people.
of a painting.
Yeah. So Botticelli, porno artist.
Exactly.
And that's basically what Pearl wants to be. She wants to be a famous naked lady.
Does she? I think she just wants to be famous.
I think she wants to be famous no matter what, and I don't think she has any qualms about being naked.
Yeah.
As Maxine did not have qualms and X about being naked.
Yeah. For those who were able to see X in the theater, if they stuck around till after the credits, which we always do.
Always.
Every single time.
You never know.
Yes, you never know.
And in this case,
you
it
got
paid
to
off.
see the teaser trailer and it seemed like a fake trailer. Like they've done this before with like Thanksgiving. So
I had no idea until I think we had to look it up afterward.
Well,
It's
yeah,
like,
that's
oh.
the thing. It's you're like, oh, was that a real?
Yeah.
Is that a real movie that's going to come out? And it gets you excited because you already know what goes down at the end of Pearl's life, you know? So you see what her story or like what she becomes. So learning about her backstory in a whole nother movie is very intriguing because it's like what got her to that point where she was pretty crazy psycho in X.
Yeah.
And so now it's all making sense. Even like just watching the trailer, you're like, oh, I want to know more.
And the teaser at the end of the credits of X didn't show too much. It just showed Mia Goth as Pearl on the farm. And it was shot in this very kind of tongue-in-cheek 1930s, 40s golden era of film style.
Yeah.
With those, slanted opening credits or opening billing that just looks very like iconic for that time. You're like, oh, how sweet. And yet it's a really terrifying horror film.
Yeah, it just looks like it's going to be super gruesome.
Yeah, so it's like if Katharine Hepburn just took a pitchfork and had at it.
Yeah.
Okay,
and if you've
Cary
seen
Grant.
X and then you've seen the trailer, then you're like, oh, there's that alligator.
And then you see her blonde friend running away from her and screaming in this trailer, and you're like, oh, that's her Brittany Snow.
Oh, see, I didn't make that connection.
Really?
But yeah, I mean,
remember in X, sorry, huge spoiler, in X after Brittany Snow has her end.
yeah. I mean, we've already spoiled it, so it's okay.
I know, but I'm just like, I just want to make sure, you guys. I'm giving you several chances.
If you're still watching and you haven't seen X, go back and watch X.
So after Brittany Snow has her fateful end, and then old lady Pearl looks at where she, demised, where she ended, and was like,
Yeah,
I never
where she demised.
Where she demised. And she's like, I never liked blondes. And you're like,
oh, that's right.
She said, I never liked blondes.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. See, that's
yeah.
the beauty of shooting two movies in tandem or back to back, or they're planned, is you can throw all these little nuggets in the
callbacks.
first movie, and then in the second movie you're like, oh, that's what
that
she
makes
meant.
so much sense. That's why, even though Brittany Snow was so nice and gave her shawl, which was very sweet of her, so when she got offed, I was like, oh, she gave her shawl. And then you realize watching this trailer, like, oh, something went down with that blonde. And that's why she's just triggered when she sees
so it's
cute blonde girl Brittany Snow.
just spawns the curiosity of the mind. What is going to happen?
What did that blonde lady do? Her and her blonde ringlets.
My prediction for Pearl is, for one, we know that Pearl has to go through this whole movie because she's an old woman in X.
So she's not going to die.
So I know she's not going to die.
We know that much.
I know that blonde person is probably going to die.
Probably. Or maybe she gets away. You never know. It becomes big and famous.
I feel like she's going to die.
She's probably going to die. When she's screaming, that doesn't look good.
Yeah. I have a feeling that Pearl is going to go crazy on everyone, animals and humans alike.
Why is she going crazy? Like, what did that goose ever do to her?
I think what's going to happen is that she makes this porno and then she's somehow like shunned for it or shamed, and then that twists her, like, everybody likes me, to all of a sudden now everybody hates me because I did this thing.
Because her parents are religious zealots. Because that clip in X where they're showing the black and white video of the religious zealot man, his daughter is Pearl.
Is it Pearl or is it the girl in X? Because they are the same actor.
I mean, they're the same actor, but it's filmed in black and white.
Yeah.
And so I'm assuming that was Pearl.
Yeah.
And that's when I started to connect, like, okay, because you always had an inkling in X while you're watching it. You're like, oh, that old lady doesn't seem like an actual old lady. She seems like she's wearing a ton of prosthetics.
Yeah.
And so I started to wonder if that was Mia Goth underneath. Mm-hmm. And then it was kind of confirmed with, like, the credits at the ending.
Yeah. Credits spoiling things for us.
Hey, no, credits confirming things.
Our suspicions.
Yes, thank you, credits. I like credits.
But that is cool because now you have this sort of roundabout.
Yeah.
So it's like
Reincarnation whilst somebody is still alive.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. But it makes me think, okay, does Maxine have that same darkness that Pearl has?
She definitely had an edge.
She had that factor.
She
that
was edgy.
special
Yes.
X factor.
What are your predictions?
Okay, so I think she is going to get involved in the budding porno industry.
Mhm.
She's going to love it.
Do you think it's going to be more sinister than just porn?
Like snuff films?
Or something? She has
Oh.
to kill a goose on camera.
Well, then I don't think the guy would say, because when she's like, is it legal? And he's like, it's gonna be. I don't feel like he would say it's gonna be, because obviously snuff films are never gonna be legal.
Okay.
I mean,
I was just trying to throw it out there.
So I think it's just gonna be a good old-fashioned porno.
Yep.
And she's gonna love it, because in X, I remember she was just kind of like lamenting the change of her body. And she's like, oh, why won't you touch me anymore? I want to feel like that again. So she was probably pretty skilled in her porno ways back in the 30s and 40s. And somehow Blondie is gonna be like, no, I want to be a porno actress, and she's gonna get a role ahead of Pearl. And I don't think Pearl is ever actually going to leave her town. So those scenes of her on a stage and, like, you know, looking all happy and successful, I think those are going to be
That's going to be in her
fantasies.
mind. Yeah, it's
yes.
a fantasy.
And it kind of just, you know, shows further her, like psychosis.
Do you think the blonde is going to get an actual role?
That will get her out of town? Yes.
Oh, okay.
So Pearl's going to be stuck doing farmhouse pornos, and Blonde Girl is actually going to land a role on the big stage
She's
somewhere.
going to be whisked away to Hollywood.
To Hollywood,
Yeah.
exactly. And Pearl's going to resent that, and that's why Blondie's going to get it.
Now
But
our question-
something's got to happen to where Pearl's never punished for these crimes, because she's, you know, still living dandy with her husband in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So somehow these things are going to go unsolved or pinned on somebody else.
Good job, Ty West.
Yeah, I
You
like it.
spawned our interest.
Definitely interested.
In the poster, the extraordinary origin story. Pearl.
Clever. Extraordinary.
And she's grabbing her face
And she
with
looks
bloody
so
hands.
sweet. She's cupping her face, cute little demure smile, awestruck eyes, and covered in dried blood.
And she is axing someone
And it looks
with
like
a blood
the blonde.
trail that does look like the blonde. Are they spoiling it in the poster?
I mean, I had to zoom in, so I guess not terribly. But
And the blood trail forms
the
to become
L.
the L. Mm-hmm. All right. Good job.
It's really,
poster.
Yeah, I like it. It's, you know, it's simple. It grabs my attention. Cute. Cheeky.
Cheeky.
Yeah, very cheeky.
Okay, what is your likelihood of seeing this movie? Are you going to see Pearl opening weekend in the theater eventually? Are you going to wait for Shudder or streaming services? Or did you see all you need to see?
The reasons why I see things in the theater opening weekend is A, because I'm really excited for it, or B, because I don't want it spoiled for me.
Mm-hmm.
And although I am excited for this, I more want to see it opening weekend because I don't want it spoiled for me. Even though we know she's not going to die, because the ending of X was pretty shocking.
Right.
And the stuff that they had unraveling in X, and you're just like, oh, I'm glad I didn't have that spoiled for me, if it wasn't. So I think I'm one to go see it opening weekend in order to prevent spoilers from others.
That's a good call, actually. So I think I'm also an opening weekend on this one.
Yeah.
Because X was so good.
Yeah.
And X kind of exceeded my expectations.
It did.
So, of course, I want to go see the origin story of Pearl, this fascinating character, right as soon as I can go see it. I think it comes out on September 16th. Well, we want to know what you think of the trailer Pearl. When are you going to see it? Do you already have your tickets for opening weekend, or are you going to wait for it on streaming?
Yeah.
Or just skip it? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Don't
a lot
need to
going
see
on in the
it.
trailer. That trailer was action-packed.
You saw it all.
Saw it all. You're done.
Nice and truncated.
That's right. I get it. Pearl, she becomes old.
Yeah.
You got it.
Gonna be old.
All right. Well, this has been another episode of Gutted. Thank you for watching and or listening. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye.